Good evening. My name is Marc Davenport, the wealth strategist, and welcome to Straight to the Top. Tonight we have a phenomenal guest, an outstanding young lady. Her name is C. Marie Williams. She's got some unbelievable information and best practices to share with you. And I know we're running a little bit behind schedule. I apologize for that, but I promise it'll be worth the wait. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce C. Marie Williams to Straight to the Top.
All right. Hi, Mark. Thanks so much for having me.
C. Marie, welcome to Straight to the Top.
Thank you. Excited to be on the top.
Listen, we've been talking about doing this for a while.
Yes.
We finally made it happen.
Yes.
I'm so excited. Let me shake your hand again.
All right.
And thank you again for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Houston royalty looks like. And I know who you are, but there are a lot of people across the fruited plain and outside the United States who don't know who you are.
Sure.
Can I ask you to take a step back and just tell everyone quickly, what's the 411? Who is C. Marie Williams?
Absolutely. Well, hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to this amazing show again. My name is C. Marie Williams. I am the Chief Visionary Officer of the Purpose Broker, LLC. Also a managing partner of a real estate company with my husband called Impetus Real Estate Partners. I'm a transformational millennial speaker, a purpose and business developer, trainer, and proudly humanities consultant. I'm very happy to be here.
That was a lot.
I've gotten that since I was little.
That was a lot. That was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, for everyone watching, I don't know about you, but I've never heard the term purpose broker before. And so that in itself is unique. And rather than ask her ahead of the show exactly what that was, I showed great restraint and held that question until now. Okay. C. Marie, what is a purpose broker?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked, and I'm so glad there's nobody like me out there. So a purpose broker is actually not as complicated as it sounds. It actually is someone who literally brokers purpose. So when we think of brokerages, right, we think of negotiations and reaching some sort of conclusion and agreement. And that is what I reach in humanity, in people, in my audiences. So I am constantly extracting purpose so that we can go higher, so that we can have a common vision. So I build team cultures and I give individuals clarity on where they're going. And there's nothing like knowing your own truth, whether it's your truth in your own self, in your organization. I'm just obsessed with it. What's your story? What's your passion? Why are you doing this? How can we merge that and so that the world knows it?
Wow. So the passion jumped out on the screen. I'm sure you guys have felt it. Should have brought a handkerchief. It's getting hot in here. On Straight to the Top, we have a very loyal following. And we've been blessed to be able to have exceptional people who are doing great things on the show. So what the audience expects from us is something that they can put into their toolkit.
Right.
So tomorrow, when the CEOs and entrepreneurs and soon-to-be CEOs and entrepreneurs step into their office, we want them to be able to reach into their toolkit and say, you know what? C. Marie said this and Marc Davenport said this, and I want to put this into practice today.
Right.
So, and if we do that, then we've delivered.
Right.
So this is your platform tonight.
All right.
Okay. What would you like to talk about first?
I would love to talk about abundance and the idea of worthiness, because your show is about wealth. And in my study of people that are very innovative and constantly innovating and excited about creation, not just getting money, but wealth.
Repeat that.
Okay. Excited about creation.
Look into the camera when you say.
Excited about creation. Not just getting money, but building something, building legacies. There's a sense of abundance, not just scarcity, a sense of their worthiness in creating and deserving that, and that being a part of their, what I call a birthright. So a lot of times when I'm doing presentations and when I'm doing consulting, I actually have people go back to their childhood, go back to certain times of their lives and think about those things that they did naturally. Because we sometimes think once we're older, it can only be in our hobby. It can't be brought with us everywhere we go. When we know that abundance is ours and that we're meant to be co-creators of our lives, then we don't have to put any limits on where we can go or how much money we can make. So,
family, are you hearing this? C. Marie, did you just tell the audience that abundance is your birthright?
That's right.
So a couple of weeks ago, I was reading a book and I had an epiphany, and I just decided to write. I do a lot of writing in the evenings. And one of the things that I wrote was, it is important that you find your purpose. And when you find your purpose, you will walk in your truth.
Yes.
And when you walk in your truth, you will illuminate everyone you touch, every place you go, and your light will shine in everything that you do.
Yes.
Is that aligned with what you just said?
That is totally it. Man, you about to be the
Let's
person
go.
broker number 2. Get out of here.
Let's go. Let's go. The audience is waiting. Let's go. What would you like to talk about next? This is your show.
Yes.
So
well, I'm
talk to the audience.
I'm surprised. I thought I was going to be answering all of these questions. You know, on that subject of abundance and worthiness, I think, you know, it's important for us to talk to the fact that we both come from the same background, and the mindset of a lot of our the people in our community and our culture and our churches. They have an opinion of prosperity being a sort of
an opinion of prosperity. What does that mean?
A perspective of money or abundance being, you know, prosperity preaching or somehow out of touch with the spirit. So one of the things that I broker in a sense of purpose is that we say our talent, you heard, you know, more seasoned folks, or I did when I was growing up, your talents can make room for you, but they can also make money for you. And I feel like that's the part that we're scared to talk about. And so I think it's actually getting over the mindset, the mentality that we can be loving and we can be forgiving, but that is somehow disconnected from us growing in terms of our economic platforms and what we create, and our pockets getting larger. I mean, it's not a bad thing. And so, you know, for me, that is something that I think I have to break down in other people, because I'll notice, Mark, that when I'm in rooms, like for instance, everything is new year, new you right now. And we get up and we say, you know, this year I'm going to get rid of anxiety, you know, whatever it is. Everybody's like, yay. Well, in a recent circle that I was in, I said, I will make 6 to 7 figures by the end of this year. And you could just sort of hear the, you know, who does she think she is? Or, oh, yeah, because, and what I think it is not because they're really jealous of me or because I think I'm somebody special, but because it's just not okay to say, I am worth this. I am worth this without somebody else paying me and working to the bone until I'm 60 to finally get 6 figures. No, at 30 years old, if Oprah can do this, why not me? Why does there just have to be one?
Hearts and likes if this message is resonating with you. Hearts and likes if you're feeling empowered. Hearts and likes if this young lady sitting next to me sounds like she believes what she's really talking about. So can I touch on that?
Sure.
When I was 15 years old, my oldest brother told me to surround myself with like-minded people. And one of the things that I've learned, shout out to Darrell Norris, one of the things that I've learned is the more successful you become, the larger the bullseye on your back. The more successful you become, the further up the mountain you go, the more people will look at you with envy and jealousy. Audience, there's nothing you can do about it. You don't have to excuse or make excuses to be great. You don't have to downplay your success to appease other people. Yes. Be who you are. That's right. You know, my daughter who goes to your alma mater, the University of Oklahoma, told me, I said, what did Dad, I said, what are the boys like in school? She said, Dad, you know what? A lot of them are very smart, they're very bright, but they dummy themselves down because they don't want to act too smart. Because if they act too smart, they'll be perceived as being white. And I said, are you telling me that there's a mindset out here that says if you know how to read and write and present yourself well, if you are a high achiever and you are successful, that's considered to be a negative thing?
Right.
So people aren't comfortable in themselves. So I need to ask you something. The new year is right around the corner. So maybe in 2018, I own a company. Maybe I didn't hit my numbers. Maybe I floundered because I didn't understand my purpose. Maybe I was surrounding myself with underachievers. Maybe I felt more comfortable being with mediocre people than walking with champions.
Right.
What advice can you give to people who are not satisfied with 2018 and believe they have what it takes to be great or better in 2019? And you know what? They don't have a relationship with someone like you. They aren't being coached by someone like you. So I want you to talk to my audience and give my audience some basic fundamental steps that they can take this month. We still have a few weeks left in this month to hit 2019.
That's right.
running. Is that fair?
That's right.
Do you
That's
mind?
totally fair. I do not
Speak,
mind at
please.
all. The first thing that I want to say is that your purpose is not beyond you. It's not something that you have to keep searching for, and it's just so, you know, esoteric and out there, and the, you know, universe has to knock you upside your head to get it. It's already in you. So first of all, because you are alive, you're already chosen. You're chosen to exist right now. You're chosen to be a voice right now for that thing that you went through. You were chosen to have that that feeling of frustration and whatever that is in you right now that's making you feel that you're not enough. That even that problem chose you so that you could be able to speak that to somebody.
Even that what?
Even that.
Even that problem.
Even that problem chose you because it is an opportunity for you to create another perspective, another way for somebody else to see it, so that somebody else knows that they're not alone, so that somebody else knows how you made it through. So we often look at you, we brag about the good things, right? The night, oh, this thing, and we're just so ready to get to 2019 because this happened. Okay, but look at this thing, like the way that you look at your fingerprint. Nobody else in the world has your fingerprint. Nobody else in the world has your particular story, your moment in time, and what happened to you. All of that culminates into your purpose. We are literally who we have been, where we are, and the destiny, the universal culmination of where we're going. So it's really not about 2019. It's about today. It's about this moment in time. It's about the fact that you can go out the door tomorrow and get hit by a car. And so when you close your eyes at night, it's not about saying, you know, one day, 40 years from now, I want to hear, you know, the higher voice telling me, job well done. That voice is inside of you. You're connected to that divinity and that spirit. And you've got to be able to say to yourself, do I feel that I've done well? Do I feel that I was my best self? Can I do just a little bit more tomorrow? And if you're blessed to wake up and see another day, just a little bit more of yourself, just a little bit more that you've got to give, because every single day there are people that are losing their lives. You know, Monday, speaking of, I think at 9 a.m., more people lose their lives than any other time in the world, because people are literally, what you're talking about with 2019, they are so stressed and so tense about time pressure and the fact that they're not enough and the fact that they're not meeting the mark. So you are meeting the mark by existing and choosing to get up. It's just owning your life. Owning your life and looking at it as a gift, looking at even the problems. Oh my God, how many more people could be going through this? I'm chosen to be the voice, to be the speaker. I'm watching this because something is pulling at me and calling at me to live my higher truth.
Do you see the love you're getting? Do you see, isn't this?
I'm extracting it.
Isn't C. Marie Williams amazing? So what if we have people watching the show that have gone through a personal trauma, that have suffered abuse, that have some physical ailments, that have some some mental things going on.
Right.
What about some people who just lack confidence?
Right.
Right? Can you give us a baseline or some steps to help us get out of the funk, get out of the mud, get off our knees and stand up, get our bearings and start walking, and then maybe not right away, but get to the point where we're walking so fast that now we've got the confidence to run.
Right.
Because a person that can walk covers more ground than a person that runs rather covers more ground than a person that walks.
Right.
A person that can run a further distance than someone that walks is in greater physical condition.
Right.
What can the audience do? What can everyone that's listening tonight that's stuck? And stuck means different things to different people.
Right.
To some people, it might mean I had a $15,000 month and I wanted a $25,000.
Right.
Talk to the people who are stuck so they could get out of where they are, get out of this comfortable place and become who they should be.
Right. Well, the first thing that I want to say to those people that are feeling like that is that in those moments, those are the moments that I created my businesses and my visions, because I knew that in order for me to feel happy, I have to be a co-creator of my life. And being a co-creator of my life means that I have the power to walk in line with my destiny, and that I deserve that. And so one of the things that I think led me there, and it's really simple and everybody can do it, getting up whenever the typical time that you get up 10 minutes earlier. Get up 10 minutes earlier, and I challenge you to spend some time with yourself. I challenge you to write down whatever if you're angry, write it down. If you're sad, write it down. If you're alone, write it down. We gotta be able to spend, and do not look at that phone. That is
that smartphone.
That's very important. I'm really against it.
A menace to society.
I know that it's not easy, but turn the phone off. So you don't have to get up 3 hours. Everybody can't get up at 5 a.m. or whatever it is, but just 10 minutes earlier, and just spend some time writing to yourself how you feel. And by the end of that writing, this will actually become natural. I don't even have to tell you this, because as you all know, there's a lot of universal knowledge, a lot of spiritual knowledge about written words. Okay. And there's something powerful about taking something that's going on in here and extracting it from yourself and making it physical. So making it physical, it's like laying out. It's getting it outside of you and laying it out so that you can see it in front of you. And now that you can see it, you can evaluate it, but not in a more detached manner, right? Because it came from you, and now you're looking at it. You're questioning it. You're looking at it. It's reflecting it at you, and you're not sitting there with it just built up like sinuses or something, and you can't sneeze it. Now it's out, and so that you're writing your testament now. You're writing your truth. You're writing your presence and your power. And the more that you just write a little bit, and then give yourself whatever that feeling is, you'll feel God or the universe or the spirit answer some of those questions that you'll need. Just a little bit each day. Just keep going, and that truth, that purpose will come outside. It'll come out of you, and before you know it, you're walking in your destiny, and you're taking a step, and then another step is pushing you this way, and all of a sudden it's linear, and you're creating a path, and you're walking it down in a way that I won't say that you didn't know was possible, that you always knew was possible, but you just had to take the time to believe it and to invest in yourself. See, when we talk about investments, we're always talking about putting it out somewhere else first. You're going to buy somebody's clothes. You're going to buy a ticket to some program. You're going to, invest in the stock market. You have smart followers. What's 10 minutes in the morning before you move to decide my mindset, my emotional being, my physicality, how I will move throughout my day? That is the most important thing you can do, is rise with the sun in the morning with intentionality.
You're giving me a lot to think about.
Okay.
I know. Look at all the love you're getting. I know people are loving on you
All
because you're
I
touching
receive.
something. So for everyone watching this show, if you're not sharing this, if you're not texting or communicating with a friend and saying, you know what, you really should be watching Straight to the Top right now. Marc Davenport has a young lady on his show. Her name is C. Marie Williams. And I don't know where he found her, but this young lady is powerful, she's passionate, and she speaks with a purpose. I call that the 3 Ps. She's powerful, she's passionate, right? And she's purposeful. So let's stop for a second.
Okay.
Let's take a step back.
Okay.
You gave us a lot.
Okay, good.
Okay. And you are unlike anyone else that I've ever had on my show.
Really? You say that, I'll go back and watch them.
No, you're unlike anyone I've had on this show, because everyone that I've had on this show, we've talked about different things.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make them better, doesn't make it worse.
Right.
But what you're doing is you're disrupting behavior.
Awesome. That's what I'm here
You're
for.
disrupting behavior. And so a couple of takeaways.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, develop new habits.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is it Albert Einstein that said, the definition of insanity is consistently doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different result.
Right.
So C. Marie just gave us some best practices, some steps, some only as little as 10 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, get up earlier,
Mm-hmm.
write,
Mm-hmm.
share your thoughts with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
invest in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
be quiet,
Mm-hmm.
turn the phone off,
Mm-hmm. Drink a glass of water.
drink a glass of water,
Mm-hmm.
tune out and put all of the typical daily distractions aside. What C. Marie Williams just told us, what C. Marie Williams said, what we should be thinking about, what we should be doing if we want the new year to be a better year,
Mm-hmm.
is to invest in ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
Is to invest in ourselves spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
mentally,
Mm-hmm.
is to take care of ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and to heal ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we do that, can you talk about the benefits?
Yes.
What are the benefits from doing just a few steps that you just shared with? Would you mind telling me?
Sure. The benefits are that you will know that you are alive on purpose, and you will know that you are enough. And when you go back, even to a few months ago, and you read and you laugh, or you realize, I was literally worrying about this thing that didn't come to pass. Or wow, I got through this. I mean, that is your journey. Like I said, it's your testament, it's your truth. It's a reflection and a revelation of your existence. So what more powerful than that? I mean, you've got literally your own story in your hands, and you are
enough.
You are enough, and you're seeing it while you're living it, and that's beautiful.
Why is it such a challenge and so difficult for the average person to be? Why do we spend so much time and energy? Why do we invest in other things? Why are we always last?
Right.
Why do we always invest in ourselves? Why do we always take care of everything and everyone first,
right,
before we take care of ourselves? Is that learned behavior?
Mm-hmm. I think a part of it is, and when you said that, it's funny, I thought of this when I was a junior, maybe I was a super senior, so maybe my second time as a junior.
Okay.
I was in a abroad program in Jamaica, and it was a very different program. We had to live in the mountains and really observe what was beautiful about their lives. I heard a woman say something I never heard any woman say ever in my entire life. Okay, this medium-sized Black woman with 2 plaits down the, her hair. She said, "I'm the happiest woman in the world." And I went,
wow.
And here I am, with my makeup, and they wore like clothes for like 2 days in a row because it didn't get dirty. And I was like, oh, but I literally, that was life-changing for me. I'm talking about, I've never in all of the suburbs and the hoods or anything in America ever heard a woman say, 1, I'm happy. And then 2, I'm the happiest woman in the world. So I can only speak to my experiences. I think there's something to be said about living in a capitalist society that sort of benefits off of the needing more, constantly needing more. And so that's a part of why, you know, my business is actually showing we can also create services and businesses and solutions that help people to realize you've got everything you need. You've got the power, you've got the team already. You just got to build the culture. You've got the vision already. You just got to bring your story out through the product or whatever it is. And so, you know, I do believe there's something specifically about our society. And we always say, you know, that we live in it's competition. I don't think that's true. I actually don't think America has enough competition. I believe that's why it tries to create monopolies amongst people as well. Okay.
So we covered a lot of ground today.
We did.
What I love about what I'm hearing is you are stressing the importance of taking care of yourself.
Yes.
Because we're powerful people.
That's right.
But you won't know that you're powerful if you don't know who you are.
That's right.
So you talked about what a passion broker is. You talked about some of the things that people can do today to affect change. You gave us some exercises and some tasks that we could do to build momentum going into 2019. I'm the wealth strategist. You're on my show.
All right.
So I'm gonna ask you a wealth question.
Okay.
How do we monetize this?
Yes.
How do we monetize the new us?
That's
How do
right.
we do that?
That's right. Well, I am so glad you asked, Mark. I have an event coming up this January in Houston. It is, and I'll be doing more things like this, but this is the event to go to. I mean,
Before you say
Go
that,
ahead.
do people need to write anything down, or are you going to push this out on the website, whatever it is you're about to say?
Yes, I'll give you the link and the website and everything.
Okay.
But they can write it down as well. So the event is called Your Purpose Can Be Profitable.
Say it again.
Your Purpose Can Be Profitable. I will have a star guest who is an absolute idol of mine.
Is she from Manhattan?
She is from New York. Her master class is taught in Manhattan, everywhere from Manhattan to Sydney, Australia. It's called How to Build a Multi-Million-Dollar Brand. Tiana Von Johnson.
Wait a second. Did you say $1 million or
How to build a multi-million-dollar brand? That's what she did. She made her first $1 million before she was 30 years old. The father of her kids died, and so she had this attitude that was like, I'm gonna just sit here in depression forever. Or I know that she was one of those people that always knew she was born for greater. And it was at that point of her life where it's like, I'm literally about to roll over and die, or I'm going to use this pain to save lives the way that I do it. And the way that she does it is that New York hustle style. She's got over 7 successful businesses.
How many?
Over seven. She has 2 brokerages on Wall Street. She's one of the only females, the only African American, and one of the few people, you know, at the time that she started it, that was under 30. And she started at a Jewish firm, and they said, we'll give you $250,000 when she started spitting out her ideas. And she said, okay, that means I'm worth $1 million. It's time to go. And that's when she started doing her own thing. So I was blessed to meet her, and I was in a room with a whole bunch of people that I could have been mentored that were sort of like me, but I was like, you are what I need.
You know what you wanted.
That's right. And she teaches you how to market. She teaches how to get down to business, how to monetize. She's very passionate about it. I'm just so honored to be
Is she more passionate than you?
She's passionate in her own way.
Okay.
She ain't the purpose broker.
Okay, I'm
But
sorry.
she is the Tiana Von Johnson that teaches how to build a multi-million-dollar brand. So this will be downtown in Houston, Texas, right here on January 19th. And the website is www.yourpurposeandprofit.eventbrite.com, www.yourpurposeandprofit.eventbrite.com. For everybody who is watching tonight, all of Marc's followers, I have a special package for you that will last for the next 48 hours. So if you put in the promo code RMI Capital, and that's capital with the AL, not an OL. I'm not illiterate, but I had to go back and fix that.
Boomer sooner.
RMI Capital 2019 is your promo code, and you will get, you don't even deserve it at that rate. But you know what? I'm so happy for the time that we spent here today. And I just think if you invest in your purpose and your potential and your profitability, this will be the best 70, there's two options, $70 to $100 that you will spend.
How much?
$70 to $100. There's a day.
People spend that at the nail and hair salon.
Right.
People spend that at the club on the weekend.
Exactly.
People spend that getting their hair done on a Friday or Saturday night and have to have it redone constantly. So you're telling me that you're going to offer a savings opportunity to my audience,
yes,
a one-time upfront investment, yes, and that investment they can leverage to make money?
Exactly. And it will include food, drinks, and free parking. You've got 48 hours to get it at this rate.
You had a lot of love tonight.
I do.
Right? You saw it, right?
Yes.
And, you know, I did a show a few weeks ago called Fact versus Fiction. Mm-hmm. And you have a lot of people who are going to say good things and feel good things about you. Mm-hmm. And so for everyone that wants to know more about you, yes, they want to know who you are, yes, where they can find you. Do you take on clients?
Absolutely, yes. And I'm gonna have, please follow my social media handles, because so it's The Purpose Broker, literally The Purpose Broker. You can follow me on Facebook, you can follow me on social media. I am about to be uploading all of my seminars, workshops, and some online things that I'll be doing for 2019. So I'm so excited. I want to stay connected with you, and everybody that I meet or encounter, I love to see them go, you know, that's my goal. So I'm
going to ask you a question, mm-hmm, and this is not rehearsed. She doesn't know I'm going to ask this, but I'm asking her this question because she's a serious person. Mm-hmm. She's married to another person who's serious. There are entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're building something. Mm-hmm. They're not playing around.
I'm not playing.
Okay, so you know what? We don't roll with people who make excuses.
That's right.
We don't hang out with people who hate on other people,
that's right,
who are envy and jealous of other people.
Right.
We roll with people that think like us, but also are secure and confident enough in who they are to say, look, I'll help you as long as you're legitimate and worthy of it.
Right.
I'll help you.
Right.
That's why I wanted C. Marie on this show. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
What is your income goal for your revenue goal for 2019? I asked her that question. What is your revenue goal for 2019?
Okay. Can I tell you this?
Ask me that question.
Ask you that question.
My revenue goal was 1.5 million.
1.5 million. Okay. I have my revenue goal set for 2023.
You've gone out that long?
I've gone out that because it's an exact number, and I did numerology to get it. But I am saying that by the end of 2019, I want to make more than my total household income so that my husband can be full-time in our real estate business.
So let me ask you the question a different way. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what that number is?
Yes.
You know where you want to be?
Yes.
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching this show, okay, and I apologize for asking you that.
No, that's okay.
No, that's private information, mm-hmm, and that's not something that some people just don't feel comfortable disclosing.
Right.
And I apologize to you for that.
No, it's okay.
You should know what your revenue goal is for 2019. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what your revenue goal is for 2019, did you have one for 2018? Mm. And if you didn't have a revenue goal for 2018, and if you don't have one for 2019, you really need to ask yourself, should you be running a business? Mm. Because if you don't have a revenue goal for this year, mm-hmm, or next year, then mm-hmm, what are you coming into the office to do?
Right.
Okay. Impress your friends. What are you coming into the office to do? Mm-hmm. So tell us about anything else that you like to share about what you have going on for the first quarter.
Right. I just want to say that that's something that they could write down in that 10 minutes in the morning as well. Because that writing that revenue goal is something that, now actually, thank you for that. I will do right now. I just have the revenue for the year 2023. And then something by 2030, because I rewrite my purpose on a weekly basis. But I'm going to put this exact number to make it physical, the exact things I'm telling you guys about, to make it a reality, and so that this really happens for my family in this next year. I'll do that.
If you don't see it, you don't own it. And I'm gonna take a quick step back, then we'll wrap. Whatever your annual revenue goal is divided by 12. That's your monthly.
Love it.
Always assume a 20-day production month. There'll be a few days, months where it's a little more, a few days where it's a little less. But always assume a 20-day month. If your revenue goal is $1 million, your monthly is $80,000 a month. Your weekly is $20,000 a week. If you factor a 20-day month, your daily revenue goal is $4,000 a day. If you focus on your daily goals, your monthlies will hit themselves. If you hit your monthly goals, your quarters will hit themselves. And if you stay 80 to 85% of what your annual revenue goal is coming into Q4, if you don't hit your numbers, it's your fault. That show is up. It's up on my page. If you haven't watched it, we do a lot in 30 minutes. Look, there's a lot of good people doing tremendous things all over the country. But I wanted to give out a shout out to a few people. I want to give a shout out to Philip Yates. Philip Yates is an attorney. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a civil servant. He's a community servant. He's a leader, but he's a good guy. And he's responsible for mentoring hundreds of people through the Urban League's entrepreneurship program. I'd also like to acknowledge Philip W. Dunn, a lot of Phillips tonight, who's the CEO of Open Table. He owns the Black Business Focus Group on Facebook. This guy is teaching people how to build an economy one sale at a time. If you don't know who Philip Dunn is, if you're not a member of the Black Business Focus Group, which probably has 11,000 plus members, I would encourage you to find out who he is and pay attention to what he's doing. You know, the great Warren Broadnax, who's a local serial entrepreneur here in Houston, he's worth several $1 million. But you know what? That's not what's important. This is a smart guy. He's a good guy. He's a family guy, and he gives back in incredible ways. And one of the things he said during our interview was, Marc Davenport, everything we need, we have within our own economy. Get to know Philip Yates, get to know Philip Dunn, get to know Warren Broadnax. These are three princes of the city. They're good men. They're doing great things. They're worthy of your support. We appreciate you coming out. C. Marie, you killed it tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And tell your husband thank you for sharing, for allowing me to have 30 minutes of your time.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Marc. Straight to the top. That's what we did.
Before we go, you know what I'm going to say. Have a plan. Work your plan. Work it real good. Ordinary people do ordinary things. Great people have the fortitude and the aptitude to endure pain. Prepare. Prepare at a very high level. Prepare more so than you've ever prepared before in your life. And then practice. If you want to become great, practice so that that muscle memory takes over. So you don't have to think about what you're doing, because you've prepared and practiced so often and so consistently. When everybody else went home, you don't have to think about it. And if you prepare and practice like that, you will perform at a high level. You will perform at a super high level, and you won't have any competition, because you will be the competition. So prepare, practice, perform at a very high level, and you too will go straight to the top. On behalf of C. Marie and her husband, Michael, God bless.
Thank you so much.
And good night.
Good night.